Veamos el siguiente video para después dar paso a este encuentro genial presentado por Arca. Esto es Mad Men.
Nos presenta una de las mejores series de televisión de toda la historia, aclamada por la crítica, ganadora de 15 premios Emmy, 4 Golden Globes y a pocas semanas de su gran final. Aquí, hoy, Matthiew Weiner, creador, escritor, productor ejecutivo y director, Elisabeth Moss, Peggy Olson, John Slattery, Roger Sterling. Mad Men en TagCDMX. A esto le llamamos Encuentros Geniales. Este es presentado por Arca.
Demos la bienvenida a Matthiew Weiner, John Slattery y Elisabeth Moss, por favor. Un aplauso para ellos. In a completely different. Roger, I think, has not such a huge arc during the whole series. Not that he doesn't change, but Peggy changes so much. I'm just wondering, how much did you know about your character's destiny?
Not a lot, if anything, really. You know, I didn't think that she would be anything beyond his secretary, which I thought was awesome. You know, I was perfectly happy to have that position for the rest of my life.
Being Don Draper's secretary.
Sure. Or just being on Mad Men was fine, you know. I knew that she was going to have a storyline because she had to get pregnant, so I had to wear all this padding with my costumes.
You didn't know that you were pregnant?
So I did, yeah, because they had to put all this padding over, like, you know, 6-7 episodes or whatever it was.
We had a bunch of stages for the costume.
Yeah, there were like 5 stages.
And we shot out of order because John was on another show.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So he brought me into his office before we started the first season and told me what was going to happen. So I knew I would have something to do on the first season, but I had no way of knowing that she was, you know, going to get promoted or that she was going to become a copywriter, and certainly no way of knowing that she was going to become such a big presence on the show. I really.
And I said, I can't imagine. I mean, this was a story about a few people over a few days, and I can't imagine creating this world of these people over all these years in so many situations, in so many, excuse me, with so many complications. And he said, well, you can't look at it backwards. If you look at it from here back to the beginning, it looks ridiculously complicated, and it is, but you can only go one scene at a time. And so playing a character from the only one I played, from my point of view, is each week you get a different color, or you get a different, or you get to reiterate something that you said the week before. So it's, I mean, maybe it's more like sketching, you know, where you're sort of shading in one, an attitude that you'd seen earlier, or you find out that he's loyal to this person when you expected him to be loyal to that person, or just when you think that Roger is just a misogynistic asshole, he comes up with, you know, a story or a bit of advice for someone, or an insight, or an anecdote of you know, part of his life, or you meet his daughter, or, you know, and in that way you start to fill in a complete human being.
It so well as the next stage of Don Draper that's what we worked towards, and what that meant was getting Don Draper into McCann Erickson.
Right.
It meant letting the audience know what Coca-Cola was, which we did throughout the series. There's a line that actually always got a laugh. Aaron State and Ken Cosgrove had a line about ketchup. Because it's Heinz ketchup, it's the Coca-Cola of condiments.
Right.
You know, just to explain to people what Coke was. What people think are symbols or planning, I look more at as harvesting. So myself and a bunch of other people, sometimes as many as 10 other writers, come together to make a story that's different every season, but we always base it on what's happened before. And so, for example, Roger and Don's last scene together ends with him, with Roger giving Don a kiss on the cheek and saying, "You are okay." Now, that is a callback to the pilot, but also we've heard that phrase a lot, and we know that Don says it a lot, right?